Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for June 22nd. In 1719, a lay brother from a Louisiana mission reached Los Dolores Mission in St. Augustine to report the attack by French Lieutenant Philippe Blondel on his mission and the intended French actions against Spanish missions in East Texas. During the attack, Blondel stole some chickens. While he was tying them to his saddle, his horse became so spooked that Blondel was dismounted, thus initiating the so-called Chicken War. The report so concerned those at other Texas missions that they were abandoned, and most friars and soldiers retreated toward San Antonio. It turned out that the Blondel incursion was an isolated incident, and no major French action occurred. In 1824, the Battle of Jones Creek was fought between colonists and Karankawa Indians in Brazoria County. Stephen F. Austin had commissioned Randall Jones and other settlers to organize a force to retaliate for several Indian raids. When fighting erupted after Indians demanded ammunition from a store, Jones and his company attacked about 30 camped on what became known as Jones Creek. The Indians retreated across the San Bernard River but continued to trouble the settlers. In 1857, a contract was granted to James E. Birch for mail service from San Antonio to San Diego, California, via El Paso. Birch named George H. Giddings and M. B. Bramhall as agents for the so-called Jackass Mail. A few months later, Birch died at sea, and in March 1858, Giddings bought the line from his widow. However, due to losses, Indian raids, and strong competition from the Butterfield Overland Mail Route, the business failed in 1861. In 1905, former Texas Governor Francis R. Lubbock died in Austin. He had come to Texas from South Carolina in 1836 and served as the first comptroller of the Republic before being elected governor in 1861. He supported Confederate conscription and worked to build a state foundry and percussion cap factory as governor. After one term in office, he became an advisor to Jefferson Davis. At the end of the War of Northern Aggression, he fled with Davis and was captured in Georgia. After 8 months in prison, he returned to Texas and later served as state treasurer from 1878 to 1891. In 1936, music legend Christopher "Chris" Christopherson was born in Brownsville. Some of Christopherson's best-known recordings are Me and Bobby McGee, Sunday Morning Coming Down, and Help Me Make It Through the Night. Several of Christopherson's songs have been successfully recorded by others, for example, Sunday Morning Comin' Down by Johnny Cash, and For the Good Times by Ray Price. In 1980, Alvin Lee King, a 45-year-old former high school teacher, used an AR-15 rifle, M1 carbine, and 2 revolvers to kill 5 people at the Dangerfield First Baptist Church and wound 10 others. His reason was that members of the church declined his request to appear as character witnesses in a trial in which he was charged with raping his daughter. King was arrested after wounding himself and charged with 5 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder, but he committed suicide in his prison cell on January 19, 1982, before he could be tried. In 1994, the Houston Rockets defeated the New York Knicks 90-84 in Houston in the 7th game of the finals to become the 1994 NBA champions, their first championship. Akeem Olajuwon outscored Patrick Ewing in each of the games and was named tournament MVP. I remember watching that series. That was fun. And in 2002, UT Austin beat South Carolina 12-6 in Omaha, Nebraska to become the college baseball national champion, its 5th title. Augie Garrido coached the Longhorns, and the MVP was Houston Street. All right, that, my friend, was your Texas History Roundup for June 22nd. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow on the next one. You take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.